that tenant will be out in November. Or maybe it was the end of September when I called him. But anyway, he told me tenant will be out in November. And she was. The same tenant's been in the property since like the early 2000s, I want to say. But yeah, so I mean, she was out. She was a smoker. She like the walls are orange, pretty much that type of thing.
Oh,
Um,
nasty. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's a good in a good area. I mean, there's newer construction here and here. But yeah, my buddy John, he bought the property like literally right behind to the right, I think, of where this is located. So, it was kind of like a no-brainer to also buy this one here because again, it's not in a flood zone. So, you know, which is pretty much a good thing right now,
Yeah, that's
currently.
cool.
Uh,
Yeah, I know Eric was talking about houses that had flood damage. Are you looking for those as well too?
yeah. I mean, I am, but again, like if like I said, you just have to be at that point. You have to run at like a point six, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't want to take
Yeah,
up
no
too much
worries.
of your time.
Anyone else have any questions? Anything you guys are working on currently? In your market or me or Eric's market? Again, you could if you guys have anything in our market, you could always reach out to us and we could help you find a cash buyer to close on it. But yeah, I mean if you have anything, let's say you're in Chicago, for example, obviously we don't have buyers in Chicago. We have buyers in Pennsylvania and Florida, but we could still give you the tools to help try to find a buyer for you. Where to go, what how to find cash buyers, either using like you could use like Facebook groups. You could look at like recently sold comps in the area, call those agents up and like, hey, is that flipper still interested in another project in this same neighborhood or right next to this neighborhood, blah blah blah. So there are tools you could use, but ideally, obviously, guys, I would say if you're trying to wholesale, right off the jump, which is awesome. You just got to make sure have your buy, have at least some buyers first, so you're not just getting a property up, whether you're in contract with the seller or or like you're talking to the agent who's obviously writing the deal up between you and the seller. You don't want to waste anyone's time, so try to make sure you guys have your buyers kind of a decent amount before I guess starting before you start hitting the phones. And it doesn't take that long to build a buyer, so it's very very simple. Just kind of look to see those comps, who's buying what, and go from there. Any questions that you guys have? Anything you guys got going on? If not, I mean, I guess I could chat about what I pretty much got going on for myself. um I was chatting about this house here. I found this one the other day. Um, it's like 10 minutes from where I'm at. The situation on this one was a tired landlord. He's owned it for, I think 90 something. I don't know. I don't know if I'll say it here. For like at least 20 something years. But yeah, his name's Rodney. He's owned that one. Basically, he wants to sell his others too. He's getting up there in age, and his son doesn't live right there. He lives kind of like closer to the Panhandle, so it's a little bit of a drive whenever he needs to do routine maintenance on any of the homes. But again, like it's just a tired landlord situation. So he's selling this one to me, and then he has like a few others that he will sell. Ideally, he said he would want to sell like one a year. So like come 2025, I'll reach out to him again, and I've done transactions like that before. The first one goes smooth, so they call you up when they're ready for the next one. So he has my card, he has my number. Same with his son. So I mean, if I don't follow up with them, I know they'll follow up with me. Let's see, we got something in the chat here. Yeah, so off market, for off market pre foreclosures, how do you help the homeowner realize their situation is worse than they are willing to accept, come to terms with? Sometimes it's a little hard because the first step is always denial. It depends, like let's say if they just got notified like a week ago that they're in default, even though they already knew prior, but now it's like obviously it's pen to paper, it's official. You know, they might try to save it on. It's like, you know, let's say you call them, they've been notified a week ago, they've been in default. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, they know about it. Sometimes they are, you know, they'll say they'll try to fix it, you know, and you could ask them like, you know, what steps do you plan on taking to fix it? You know, try to figure out the situation. Like, are you okay, you know, doing a loan modification? You know, you can try to tell them what the loan modification is. It's just, you know, it depends on their situation. Like, it's you know, depending on, you know, because you got to figure out what they got going on. Like, why are they in this situation, kind of thing. And it's also that first call. It's kind of difficult because you don't want to pry too much, but just kind of, you know, just kind of scrape the surface and kind of see what's going on. You know, it could be, again, this could be a multitude of different reasons: loss of job, spouse, and anything. I mean, I've seen divorce, I've seen it all. So where they can't make that payment anymore. And that's where they fall behind and stuff like that. So, you know, big thing is like, are you guys trying to, you know, come to terms and be, you know, done with the property? You guys trying to still keep the property? I try to find that out in the beginning as well. If they want to keep it, then, you know, obviously, try to tell them, you know, what they can, you know, the steps that they can do. Again, just, you know, getting caught up, doing a loan modification, that type of thing. But if they can't keep up with the payments, I mean, you just gotta, you know, tell them that, hey, you yourself is the best option. You know, you could go online, you know, you could, or not go on, you could go on market and, you know, partner with our agent. You know, they can list the home for you, have multiple showings, this, that, and the third. But if you want something, you know, quick and easy, you know, I can try to help. I can try my best to help you. This is my first rodeo. I know what to do. If you need me, you know, I could call the lender, so we could try to, let's say, if you have to extend the auction date, let's say the auction date's a month from now, if it needs to be extended, you know, I could do that for you. Just kind of, you want to try to help them the best that you can, you know, and try not to, I guess, force a sale. I mean, if they want help, they're going to say like, hey, I need help, but they might not do it right away. So that's why first call is definitely about scraping the surface, see kind of like how they feel about the whole situation. And let's say if they say, oh yeah, they'll figure it out, then I would set a follow-up date for, you know, maybe 2 weeks later, and be like, hey, Tom, you know, hey, it's Terrell again. I was calling him on this, on 26th Avenue. Are you guys good? Are you guys still trying to get caught up? Like, what's the whole situation? I'm still interested in buying it if you guys are looking to part ways, you know, and kind of just shut up and listen, see what they have to say. But yeah, I
Do
mean,
you, I'm
go
sorry, I
ahead.
didn't mean to. Do you still use PropStream with the update as far as the accuracy on the property numbers, like how much they owe on the mortgage and all that stuff?
Yeah, I use it. I gauge, like, you know, I use it as a little tool for myself. So like I always kind of look to see, you know, and because again, it shows you the estimated payment, the estimated balance, or not that, well, estimated balance that's left, and interest. So I kind of like gauge it off of that.
Yeah.
So
So you see it's still accurate even after their update? Like they did an update, I want to say a few
I
days ago.
To be honest, I if it was a few days ago, I did see, like, I got a notification for that, but like I haven't touched pre-foreclosures, I would say, in the past like 2 months. Right now I've been working on liens. And for liens, um it seems fairly accurate, but I'm not 100% sure for pre-foreclosures because I haven't been working. I basically been pulling liens list, like absentee owners that have liens on that subject property. So that's the list I've been working most recently.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're good, man. You're good. You know, you have a question, you got to ask. You know, so let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. But like I said, like, when you call someone, you know, off that first initial call, especially if they just got notified that they're in a pre-foreclosure, you know, that's the first step is always like denial. But and then like sometimes there's been cases that happen to me, like when it's like too late, and they would call you asking like, hey, you know, that's, if you had a good conversation, then they'll definitely take your information down. Or if you follow up with them and, they say, oh yeah, I'll call you if anything changes, blah blah blah. But then yeah, they call you, and then that's when you have to try to like get it extended um with the lender. Let's see, iPhone, you have a thing in Kittatinny Road. I don't remember working a deal here, but it was 73. Okay, so it's in Lehighton, back in the market, single family, the net. All right, iPhone, are you there? I hope. Let's see a few pictures
Hey, what's
here.
up?
How you doing? Let's see. I'm just trying to get a gauge of these pictures here. All right, looks like, little
Yeah, I mean,
dated.
I just came across that house. I didn't know if it was something to be worth worth pursuing or not. I mean, you know the area a little bit better than I do.
Yeah, Lehighton. I haven't done anything in Lehighton. It's been like over a year, but I just, again, it just takes three minutes, I would say, just kind of gauging what that ARV is. Right, they're asking 139 for the property. It's not like a half a double or anything. It's it's one full house. Probably needs about let's see, let's say 35. What's this time? 1,300 square feet roughly. Probably like 45, I would say, in work. All right, but let's take a look and see what we got.
Yeah, I was thinking right around that same number, like 45, 50, and then it was kind of hard to comp out. There's not too many comparables, but I was thinking maybe like 185.
Okay. I'll go to 2 plus. Let's see anything that's 2 plus. I'll go under 1,500 square feet and see what we have in the past year, 12 months. All right, let's see what we got. I guess let's see high to low. Alrighty. See, this one's 41290. I wonder why that's up there like that. Horseshoe. That's kind of where I did my other deal, horseshoe lane. Got a little bit here. Yeah, not many comps at all. I mean, this is pretty. I don't want to cross into. I don't want to cross the Lehigh River here. I kind of want to stay here. That's crossing. Yeah, nothing really.
Yeah, so it was kind of like it's a corner lot. So the one side it does have it's kind of like a main street. So which I was kind of I thought I was kind of conservative with 185, but maybe it's even less than that.
So this one was a flip here for 290. I wonder why it sold for 290. It's just like almost a full acre. They bought it for 125. Huh. And only one bathroom. 4-1-1350. We are what, 3-1? 3-1, 1328. I don't know if it's in like a. I mean, it's not far from where we're at. Looks like on a, not like a main road, but it's just like there, like on a somewhat busy road, it looks like. But yeah, 290 for this, which I would say it's fairly high for what it is. I mean, I would think it would be. I mean, I want to say it's below 2 as well. I don't want to use this. But yeah, that definitely is would be a flip, and obviously I'm just trying to look to see if I know this LLC or INC that it's in or that it was in. Gavin Real Estate Investments. I don't know him. $131 National Cell Mortgage Cash. Yeah, I would say it's about like like 185, 190. So I agree with you. About 45 in work. So let me just do that right now. I'll do 185. I'll do like a 0.75. Then minus 45 in work. Brings me to 93. And it's still making a fee for yourself. So I would say that they're a little. I mean, again, I wish there were more comps. I don't think it's gonna be as high as 290. I don't understand how they
Yeah,
got that much.
Yeah, 290 seems real high.
I mean, maybe at most 200, but But yeah, I mean, conservative 185, but it's still like, you know, you would have to be maybe get it for 90 and then push it for 95, 100 is what I would say. And I mean, it's been on the market since, you know, September and middle to end of September. So I mean, that's
Yeah,
some.
I haven't even called on it yet. I just came across it this morning, so I'm just get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I'm kind of thinking. Maybe start with 90. Obviously feel out the agency. You know, I would, you know, first when I call an agent, like, hey, is it still available? Blah blah blah. Starts to chat like, what's the story on this? That's another big one you could have to kind of break the ice with an agent. Like, hey, what's the story? Or you know, even when you're talking to a seller, like, hey, what's the story on this? Like, you know, why is the seller selling? I called yesterday. It was going around in my neighborhood. I called it for sale by owner. I found out, you know, we had like an 11, 12 minute conversation. And again, I started out like, hey, how you doing? I live over around in the neighborhood. And, you know, I saw your home for sale, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, what's the story on this? Like, you know, why are you guys selling? It looks like a good home. Just to say that sentence and they'll say, oh yeah, you know, I'm retired. My wife's going to retire in a year. And then he went out to say like, oh, I just want to buy a camper and travel the US. And then just kept going on about himself. And then also to the house, and then that helps you lower, again, it breaks the ice, helps them lower their wall, all that kind of stuff. So did they buy in the high time of the market? Regarding this one, who sent this question? Anthony. I don't know what home you're referring. If you're referring to the Lee Heighton one, I mean, I would say the last, this 2022 was like probably like the best time to sell if you're a seller. Like that's like the last yeah. No, they bought, I mean, it says here 7/19/2020. So they bought like, you know, a few months ago. 4 months ago. But yeah, no, I would say that if you're a seller, like that's probably the latest time. Everything else after 2022 has taken a dip I've seen. You know, homes aren't selling as high as they would have sold 2 years ago. Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, again, it's what Gerald and whoever else, Gerald and somebody else, Rachel. So they bought that one.
Does that probably have a mortgage on it?
They say it says they bought it in cash here. So it's no mortgage on this home on Lizard Creek that was renovated. Gavin Real Estate flipped it, looks like. Yeah, Nation Star Mortgage, I guess, sold it to Gavin Real Estate Investments. And then Gavin sold it to Gerald and Rachel, but they bought it with all cash. So who knows? They probably just maybe just sold their house and had all the cash, you know, or sold whatever and had whatever to. They have linked properties. It's just they have vacant land, and then they have this one in Lee Heighton as well. But yeah, and they have a mailing address in Propton, PA. I don't know where that's at. That's their mailing address. Maybe I don't know if it would be a rental for them. I don't. Maybe it is, possibly. I mean, their mailing address is different. They bought another property in Prompton, PA for $340. They bought that in cash. No mortgage on there. Okay, so different owners though. Hold on. Okay, so so that makes sense. Okay, so the reason why they're mailing it, they just sold their house in Prompton, wherever that's located, and then they moved to Lee Heighton. So they had 340, they sold it for 340. So they had all the cash, obviously, and a decent chunk of change, and then that's why they were able to buy that home for 290. All right, so that's what I mean. That's why I like PropStream. You could kind of follow the trail, I guess you could say. Again, I don't know where Propton, PA is located in whereabouts, you know, to Lee Heighton. I'm not sure if it's like an hour drive or whatever, but I guess they sold that house and had 340 and then spent 290 on this one. Does that make sense?
The property for 139, does that have a mortgage on it?
Yeah, hold on. Is that what you're asking, Tim? My bad. I thought you were asking for the one that sold for 290.
Well, no, this one here, because I'll give them a call today and see what's going on. See if they'll. So you're thinking like 90, so maybe I'll come in with like 80 at first.
Yeah, they have a mortgage, one open mortgage. It says an estimated balance of 43,000. You got Gene, and then you got, oh no, Peggy, sorry, Peggy and Alan Smith. They've been there for 32 years. It looks like 32 years exactly, because they bought the home in November. So what, like 5 days ago or 3 days ago? 30
Yeah,
years ago.
I'll also ask them why it's back in the market, why the deal fell through. So, I don't know if there was something going on with it or just whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something maybe just ask to see. I mean, you'll probably maybe Adrian will say like, oh, the seller's financing, or sorry, buyer's financing fell through. Whatever. That's probably most common. Nothing wrong with the home, just the financing wasn't able to secure it. But yeah, let me know. Keep me posted. I have people out here in Lehighton.
Definitely looks like a house Peggy Sue would live in.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Let's see. Anyone else have any questions on this one in Lehighton, or if you have any other properties that you want me to take a look at, just let me know. Again, we have people out in Pennsylvania, and we also have people out in Florida. We have like our Eric has like on the Discord, like our markets, like the cities that we cover in both states. So I could kind of look and see if that city falls within that same map. But yeah, I know and come 2025 for Pennsylvania, you're not going to be able to do assignments anymore. You're going to have to just double close. They passed the law, so starting January 2025, you just have to do double closing. So instead of it being, let's say for example, if I had a deal that I assigned to a buyer, you never see, if I assigned it, you never see, from John Smith to my LLC, and then from my LLC to the investor. You don't see that. You just see from John to the end buyer. But if you double close on that, then you'll see John to Terrell, then from Terrell to the end buyer. So you'll double close. So let's say if you're making, if you have an assignment fee of 10,000, if you double close on it, because you have to come January in Pennsylvania, then that 10,000, since there's closing costs and everything, you would probably be making, I would say, around like 7,500 roughly. But yeah, so that's the new rule that they're implementing in like about like a month and a half here.
So I mean, like a double close is just like, I mean, what would you do? Just add like another, like maybe for a house like that, maybe like $2,500 for closing costs.
Yeah, just assume that I wish I had like a percentage, but everything is every home is different with the taxes and all that kind of stuff. So county and everything, so it's like the percentage. You can't really say a percentage. Just again, I would say like normally it's like anywhere from like a $2,000 to $3,000 chunk out of your assignment fee with a double close. And but yeah, I mean you're still able to obviously do deals. I haven't, to be honest, I've been doing wholesaling for 3 years now, and I never double closed ever. I just only signed agreements. So you'll never see, my footprint on the property. You'll just only see the seller and then the end buyer. But if I ever close anything come January in Pennsylvania, then you'll start to see I had the property for a day, half a day, and then got rid of it.
I know Eric had the guy in I think he's in Texas. He does is double closes, and I guess what he was saying is that if you do a double close, it actually transfers into your name, and then you actually sell it. So you can actually count that.
As
count that's income. So basically, so if you want to build something up, when you eventually do want to get a loan or whatever you want to do, it actually shows like a W-2 or whatever, or a 1099.
Yeah. I forget I don't know. Was he in Texas? I don't know. Maybe it was
Maybe Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think it was Oklahoma. I think it was I forget the guy's name, but yeah, that's one of that's he always double closes on his things. Yeah, if you have yeah, you could show that history. So whenever you do get a loan, you could say like, hey, look, I own this for whatever. But I mean, I guess there's some benefits. I don't know all of them. I just personally like to get as much as I can. And but again, there are some benefits in doing that. Any questions, guys? Any questions on that deal in particular in Lehighton, or anything about assignments or double closings? If you guys need any help on or explanation on, just let me know.
I actually got to train somebody to get a buyer's list. What do you recommend?
Yeah, so you could Facebook groups are good. You could always, I'm part of like 4 or 5 different groups between the 2 states, Pennsylvania and Florida. You just type in whatever, like for example, like one of the groups I'm in is like the Tampa Bay real estate group. I don't know if that's the exact verbiage, but again, just joining that group, there's thousands of people in that group in that same vicinity. You could just be like, hey, looking for cash buyers, and you can type in whatever. You can type in Pinellas County. That's the county I'm located in. Looking for cash buyers in Pinellas County. Feel free to message me, blah blah blah, and they'll comment under that post like, hey, look, I'm a cash buyer. They'll either PM you or send you like comment like their email, stuff like that. That's an easy way to get buyers. Another way is just looking to see going to meetups. I mean, you could always do that. There's always, I mean, depends where you live, but sometimes for me, like there's always meetups all the time. You go that way. You can meet, you can meet private lenders. You can meet contractors. You can meet investors. You can meet other wholesalers, other investors. You could again just looking to see your comps. Some comps are also, those comps are most of the time flips. So you could always call that agent and, find out the information that way, or just, do some big digging and then find out who owns that LLC, call them up and, see, if they're still in the market of buying. I did that for some of my pocket buyers. One of the ones I just wholesaled, his name is John. I wholesaled this one to him. I found him back in 2022. I found a property 15 minutes from me, and I saw one of the comps that was listed there. I called the agent, which was John, and John is also he's also an agent. So he lists the homes that he flips. So he's like, oh yeah, I flipped that one. And then we did our first deal in November of 2022, and then this would be our 4th or 5th deal together here. This one here in St. Pete. And I found his information. Luckily, I was already there because I called the agent in hopes to like, hey, do you know who flipped that home? But ironically, he was the one who flipped it, so it made it a little bit easier. But if you're able to follow the LLC information, you could look up, oh, his LLC is registered to this address, and then you could skip trace that address and then find out the phone number from there and give him a call, and him or her a call, and then see if there's like, hey, you just flipped this house on 123 Main Street. I wholesale properties in St. Petersburg. Are you still looking to buy in that same neighborhood or outside that neighborhood? And kind of see what they have to say. All investors, they love wholesalers. I mean, I haven't met an investor who doesn't. Maybe I just haven't gotten around enough. I don't know, but like they like being, because again, they prefer to look at off-market deals. Sure, they'll look at on-market deals, but off-market deals they prefer because again, less eyes on the property. So if you ever find an off-market deal, I mean, an investor wants that sent to them more than like, let's say like they work with an agent. An agent's just gonna send them most of the times on-market deals. Who wants to look at that? You have an on-market deal with, let's say, like 800 and something views and 26 saves. I mean, all right, it's been looked at by a whole bunch of people. So, there might be people that overpay, those retail buyers. But off market, it's better. It's more of a deal for them. So yeah, hopefully those 3 things could help you immensely. Try to find,
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Any other questions, guys? I don't know if anyone has to add anything on, finding a buyer, but it's like I said, it's fairly easy. I mean, you could use things like PropWire, you could use things like PropStream. If I look at PropStream and I type in like the area code where I just sent wholesale, this deal was 33710. That's in Florida. If I click to see, there's 14,000 homes in that zip code here. Where was I? So I was over here. So that's exactly where that property was. Let's see, 28 is okay, never mind. All right, so there's 14,000 homes. Let's say there's 1,800 cash buyers, and you could do, you could put in more filters, like cash buyers that bought it in their cash buyers that bought it, let's say in their in an LLC name. You could go off of that, and then start filtering through, and then you could find some let's see, I'm trying to find ownership info here. Let's say I would do years of ownership, let's say max year 1. So they just bought it within the year. I'll do corporate, and then I will do, I mean, that's pretty much all you have to do. That 1,800 will turn to, like, let's see. I don't want to save that. So I might have to save that search. They changed this up a little bit. So we're at 58, from 1,800 to 58 cash buyers that bought homes in their LLCs within the past year. You obviously do a little bit more. You could put in like the characteristics of the property. You could do residential, that only bought residential, not commercial. And then that 58 turns to 35. You could add another filter. So, make it like, put all those filters up so you can turn that 1,800 to like maybe 20. And you could go by doing, residential single family homes bought with a cash buyer in their INC or LLC within the past year. You're going to be finding pretty good buyers. And you could look at the price range as well too. I mean, for example, this one here, they bought for sales price 200,000. You could see their LLC names, Weekly Homes LLC. So their mailing address is in Texas. Might be an out-of-state buyer. You could copy this copy this LLC, Weekly Homes LLC. You could go to Sunbiz. Sunbiz is LLC finder for anyone who has homes registered in the state of Florida. Or sorry, anyone who has LLCs registered in the state of Florida, you could type that in. Weekly Homes. All right, so Weekly Homes LLC, it's active here. We have a mailing address in Houston, Texas. We go back to PropStream. We see it's in Houston, Texas, Post Oak Road. Is it the same here? Post Oak Road. Okay, we have I don't see a name here, but I mean, usually there would be a name right here. I guess the manager is DM Weekly INC. So, and then if I look up DM Weekly INC, maybe I'll find a name. But things like that, and they've been running their thing since 2012. They probably have like a whole bunch in that same LLC too. If you look at linked properties, there's 4,300 linked properties. I see a lot in Texas here. I'm scrolling down, Utah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's like a hedge fund. Jacksonville, I see here, Highland, Utah, Canton, Georgia. So it's not their first rodeo. They have their equities almost at $1 billion. But yeah, so that's just one, for example. I mean, there's other ones here. That one might be difficult to find the actual who owns it, because again, it's 4,300 homes in that LLC. But I mean, you get the idea. I can click on this one on 9th Avenue here. Same concept. WMN Construction LLC. They have their mailing address in St. Pete on 5th Street. They bought the property 6 months ago in cash. You can look to see how many linked properties they have. They only have one in that LLC, maybe a smaller flipper. Same concept. Go to sunbiz.com. It's a different website for people, for LLCs in different states. But this is the one for Florida. WMN Construction LLC. I scroll down, I see their owner is Walter Newman. So Walter is probably like a smaller investor because he only has one property in his LLC. So I would call Walter, and find out his number, or find out his number first, then call him, and then see if he's still in the market to flip homes. He might say like, hey, look, I'm still working on this flip. I'll be done in like a month. And then you could, if you have anything else, I'm ready to go. But right now my money's tied up on this project. That's probably how that conversation would go. Because I mean, if he's working, he's probably just doing one at a time. But yeah, any questions on that, guys?
Yeah, not on that one. I actually just got off the phone with Terrell. How you doing, my man? Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
I just got off the phone with someone, and it's in Tampa. Let me throw the address in the chat here.
And thanks, Tim. I didn't. Yeah, you can do that. Meetup.com. Okay. Safety Harbor. It's called. I'm not Safe Harbor, but yeah. Oh wait, no. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, no,
Oh, Safe Harbor. Safe Harbor is the address. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Safe Harbor Drive.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not coming up here.
Oh no, sorry. It's 2905. I put an extra 0 in there. My bad.
Okay. All right. So this one here, 2.4, short sale.
So the way it came up on the search was I was looking at short sales out there, and so got off the phone with the agent, and apparently the person holding, so the current owners have been essentially paying creative finance to the previous owner, the owner of the property.
Yeah.
So, and she wasn't sure if he's not necessarily looking to sell. They're looking to just get out of the property. They want to go back to wherever they came from, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she says, oh, it needs work here and there. And my thing was, hey, is he willing to keep holding paper on the house? And yeah, it needs, a little bit of updating here and there, but is this something that could be, what?
Yeah, just kind of taking over that, so that current situation with that,
Yeah, so basically the current owners have been in there for a year. And they moved to Florida. Apparently the wife owns a lot of investment properties wherever they came from. She wouldn't tell me where they came from, but they want to go back there. She thought she could come to Tampa, to Florida, and buy a whole bunch more properties. Didn't end up working out, whatever, and they want to go back. And she said, she's like, hey, she'd be speaking to what I'll call the mortgage holder this week. And when I proposed the opportunity of, hey, would he be willing to continue holding paper on it? She's like, well, that's actually a great question. No one's asked me that yet. I was just curious what your thoughts, could
yeah,
be.
it's gonna be, you just gotta find what the payment is, what the interest rate is, what the, how much is left. I mean, I'm looking right now on PropStream. I see that it is, she's not lying, whoever you spoke to. It's a balloon. So, I don't know how, the balloon period, it says, 360. It was
She was saying that he owned it outright, but on PropStream, I see that it looks like that there's a loan.
Yeah.
That originated in 2023.
Yeah, 2.6 was the loan amount.
Yeah.
Estimated loan payment is 17,000.
Right.
All that kind of stuff here. So, yeah, you just got to find out like what, again, the interest is, so how much is left on the loan, what are the payments, and then, the next step is who would be willing to take this on. Because I don't see anyone taking it on as like an investment. I would say more so someone to actually want to live in there. And then pay out the loan, and then just be done with it, and then own the property without having to go, jump through the hoops of getting a loan for
mortgage,
yeah,
like from a bank or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
it's a high price point.
And that's what I figured. So I was like, oh, it's funny. I was literally on the phone with her at like 10:45, and I was like, oh shit, we're about to jump into Zoom. Let me throw this to Terrell and see what he's got to say. So.
Yeah, it's gonna take someone, someone who's really willing to. I don't know this area of Tampa. Looks like an expensive area, you know, right on the water.
Right.
I have to see how much, I mean, what can an investor really do with this? Like how much rent can they actually get? Because let's say, I mean, I'm not going to try to, I mean, I don't want to really base off a prop stream, but if they're saying 17,000 is the estimated loan payment, it probably is maybe a 2,000 off or 3,000. I don't know. But again, like, I mean, realistically, can you get, you know, 17,000 a month in rent, or can you get that can you get that do an Airbnb? You know, does it make sense that way? So it's going to come like it's going to be a special type of investor to even see potential with this. But most likely, I'm thinking the most common person is someone who actually wants to live in there and then own it after it's all said and done.
Well, and it was funny. I used the word turnkey with her, and she was like, "Whoa, it's not. I wouldn't call it turnkey. You know, I'd come in here and probably change kitchen and bathrooms." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I see that." And
I mean, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know when these photos were taken. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
that's what I asked. She said she was going to shoot me their appraisal and the documents. Just shoot them over to me. I was like, oh, okay, whatever, you know. But I just figured it kind of timed well that we were about to jump on here, so I was like, I'll shoot it to Terrell, and he'll give me the good word.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, just I guess get back to me on it. You'd always reach out to me. I'll put my name in the Discord here. Or sorry, name in the chat here. You could reach out on
Yeah,
Discord.
no, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know Airbnb is like weird in some spots of Florida. I don't know if this would, you know, be in there. You know, because again, there are some there's people who like do like they try to go under the radar. I mean, there's still some people who do that. So you just gotta hope that you don't get caught. But like ideally, I don't know if you can or can't Airbnb in this
Like
neighborhood.
in a community kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It could be, but like I don't know. Like I feel like an investor, it's going to be difficult to try to find an investor. But I could be wrong.
I mean, it's a huge price point. So you know,
yeah.
typically I'm not going to touch anything that's like here, but.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's how I am too. Like I try not to go over like 500,000.
Yeah, like 450, 550 is like where we kind of in most markets, but
yeah. All right, just keep me posted, I guess. Just let me know.
Cheers, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Anything else you guys got going on currently? In your specific in your market or me or Eric's market? And also too, guys, I mean, if you're starting out, I mean, if your market's a fairly decent market, there's no shame in starting in your backyard first. I would say, once you find a buy, once you decide that, and then also to decide on finding your buyers, I mean, it's always good to learn your market first, before branching out. I mean, like I said, I only do deals in 2 states, Pennsylvania and Florida. I don't really go elsewhere to do any deals. I mean, like I said, I help people do other deals that, where they're located, whether it be like Texas or help somebody in Virginia. I help other people in like Jersey, things like that. But like, again, like I don't do my own type of deals outside of those 2. But yeah, learning your backyard is key, drive around. I mean, I drove around a little bit for about 10 minutes yesterday. Don't have to go crazy. I usually try to not go out of my way. I mean, it was on the way to my house. I just went more in my neighborhood and outside my neighborhood, just looking for, some more opportunities. Cause again, this one was just driving around to this one park I was going to, and I ended up finding it and then closing, I'll be closing on this one in 2 weeks here. But there's just,
hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's always nice to do that. And let's see, what was I gonna say? But yeah, and again, it's just just anything that looks, you could find that rough home in that nice neighborhood, and that's all it takes. I mean, across the street from this one is new construction. It's a good area. The reason why this one's also a good is because it's not in a flood zone, so that's always good too. People like homes that aren't in a flood zone right now. So just going around in your neighborhood, looking around, you'll you can call them up if the numbers that don't work or whatever. You could always put like a card there. I'll probably do that as well if none of the numbers work. For the 4 or 5 houses that I wrote down or pinned on my maps, and yeah, and hopefully I'm able to find another deal.
Yeah, I know. Eric in his original course he had back in the day. He was talking about, because I've actually done it myself. Is that you just talk to your mailman, give him your business card. Like, they're driving around all day. They know exactly houses are empty.
Yeah, I know exactly.
For 6 months.
I was playing pickleball like I don't want to say like 4 months ago or whatever, and I forget this guy. I think his name was Ryan, and I found out that he found out I was in real estate. He found out that I found out that he was a mailman. So I gave him my card. I haven't gotten anything from him yet, but I kind of just gave him the whole rundown what I'm looking for, things of that nature. So I seen him around, I seen him like once, like probably like last month, but I didn't get a chance to say hi or whatever, just to kind of have that conversation again. But yeah, that's a good way. So mailman, you could look at like sometimes yard maintenance guys. They're always driving around. They could they kind of spot those abandoned homes that there's like, hey, look, I tried putting my card there countless times so I could get some of their business, but they haven't received maybe you could try, I don't know, the things like that. But I would say it's a good thing to just go to Vistaprint, buy a stack of cards, 100 cards, whatever, Terrell buys houses, put X, Y, and Z, your phone number, of course, things that could catch their eye, and start going to work. I have one right in the case of my phone. I have a whole stack of cards in my car. So, I'm always driving around. I'm always talking to people. So it's always good to have those on me, and you'll get some business.
You see the water shut off guys. Yeah,
those
water guys in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You turn someone's water off, call me.
Yep. But yeah, so things like that. I mean, those are good ways to get some more business, and get those off market deals, because it's always I prefer off market deals, just less competition. But yeah, any other things you guys want to add? Any other properties want me to look at, guys? Anything? Got a few more minutes here.
Quick question, Anthony.
So who's going first? I heard Anthony. Is Anthony there?
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. How you doing?
Doing good, man. It's been a while, but I'm trying to get back into it, and one of the things I'm kind of gearing more towards. I'm not trying to do some of the wholesale. I'm trying to figure out some of the more subject to or owner finance deals. Do you do any of those, or do you strictly?
Me personally, I strictly do wholesale. I know, I kind of scratched the surface a little bit with I couldn't be missing out on some tips and tricks. I'll let you know that. I'm probably, I'm not up to date like how Eric is regarding, creative deals, but I kind of know how to, again, still make an offer, kind of see what the rents are going for, calculate a decent amount of cash flow if you were to take it on for yourself, or if, what if you wanted to like assign those terms over to like a end buyer, for that sort of thing. But yeah, me personally, like from the day to day, no, I focus on wholesale.
Yeah. So what I was kind of trying to attempt to do, because I don't have the capital put anything under my company yet. But I wanted to take, if I got any of the owner finance deals, and try
to. Anthony, can you hear me? I think you broke up.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I lost you for a second. We're back.
Yeah. You're saying something about the owner finance deals that you get?
Yeah. So the ones I'm trying to get, if I can get them, and structure the deal, I'm trying to figure out like who's the best market to try to sell them off to. Like,
what market is the best to sell them to? Or
yeah, like what I'd look for, it obviously wouldn't be flippers. It'd probably be more private, right?
So it depends on how the deal is structured. If they have if there's very little entry fee, you know, they might consider doing that, fixing it up, and then just playing the long game. You know, just keep running it out. You know, all that kind of stuff. It all depends. I mean, it's always good to also have you know, some agents that you deal with too that, you know, are on your side, and then they might know people that, you know, might struggle to get approvals, you know, through like a bank. So that could be a good option too. So like, you know, it's either or. It really all depends on how that deal is structured, how much, exactly what the entry fee is, you know, what the interest rate is, all that kind of stuff. But there are investors that play the long game. As long as, like, you know, the interest rate is good, the terms are good, they're okay. If they know they have to, you know, let's say the payment is 1,500 a month, if they know they could rent it out for 2,200 a month, there's, you know, and with taxes and insurance, you know, obviously being included in, let's say included or not included, they're still able to make some cash flow. They might just play the long game, you know, pocket that 400 or, you know, $800 and keep going.
Yeah, I know. Like if you're, so the whole seller finance thing has become, you know, more prominent over the last couple of months. I've noticed there's a lot more people offering it, especially in my area. Like I use Zillow and I can just go and, you know, keyword search it. Usually a bunch of them pop up, but a lot of them want like, you know, 50% down so they can finance the rest themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of difficult. You want to try to find something where it's like a, you know, less like a, you know, where you don't have to go, like, you know, again, like try to find something below 20% down if possible. And again, even though they start at like, let's say 40%, 50%, you could talk them down, but it all depends, you know. It's just like talking to a seller, you know. This guy wanted this one here, he wanted 250, but I talked him down to where it was reasonable enough for me to make money and my buyer to still make money.
Okay. Cool. Well, I appreciate your time. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no worries. Anyone else? Any questions?
Yeah, I got one, Terrell.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Jesse. Congratulations, man, on your closing.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Real quick, what else do you have on that business card? I'm gonna order some today, but I think you had something about buying cash or something, or didn't you say something like that? You have
it? I don't know what it says word for word. I have it in the, all right. So I have Terrell buys houses. I have like want cash for your home, ? Call or text. I have my number there. We'll also pay cash for referrals. I have on there, let us help you, any condition as is, no additional fees. So that's all I have on the front card. On the back, I don't have anything on the back. But yeah,
okay, cool.
That's pretty much all I have. But yeah, you just go on Vistaprint, order a bunch, you know. It doesn't have to be anything special. You could, if you want to make, you know, because I mean, I probably should make like a logo for my LLC, but I haven't yet, you know. It's been like over 2 years. I still don't have like a logo. I probably should make a logo. And if I do that, then I'll have to update my card and, you know, so it has like a logo on the top left or whatever. But yeah, I mean, still gets the job done. You know, I still receive some callbacks. You know, so it's just something to help you, you know, something for you to, again, just put at a seller's door. I've done that, you know, I still do that to this day. And just kind of wait, and it's always nice getting those inbound calls instead of always making those outbound calls.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, good question. Anyone else? Any last minute questions here?
Well, I was going to say the Vistaprint. I mean, you know, whatever, you can get like 200, you know, 100 cards for like $10 or whatever. You never know when you're going to need them. And
Yeah.
like, I mean, the last time I went to a meetup group, real estate local here where I'm at, there was like
Yeah.
200 people there. And then, you know, I actually, at the end of the presentation, they gave people a chance to go up there and speak and, you know, explain their business. So I met a lot of like HVAC guys. I got up there and spoke, and I was like, yeah, you know, I've done a few flips myself, blah, blah, blah. I created a lot of contacts. And just make sure you got those business cards with you, because everyone's handing them out.
Yeah. I agree. And there's also some people too that have like I guess like it's like an thing that you scan, and then once you scan it, it keeps it puts all their information in there, like as a contact. So there's those types of cards too. And then also, yeah, I mean, I hear it all the time. Like I was just talking to my buddy John, who's a flipper, in my area, and he's like, yeah, just go to a lot of meetups, man. You're young, you don't have any kids, just go, go to as much meetups as you can, network, and then those deals will come because he doesn't spend anything on marketing. He told me, it's all from other wholesalers like myself, or just word of mouth. So he doesn't spend a dime on marketing. Obviously he doesn't go to as many meetups. He has like 3 kids. He doesn't really go to any meetups at this point in time, but back before, like when he was my age, when he was starting out, yeah, he went to a whole bunch of meetups, and obviously that paid dividends to where where he's at today. Any other that's good input. I mean, I have to do it myself. I mean, I haven't been to a meetup in like over. I mean, the last meetup I've been to was one where me and Eric hosted. I mean, that was a decent turnout, but I think it's been over a year since that. I think we hosted one right around this time. Maybe it was in October, I want to say. But any other questions, guys, or inputs? You guys want to add? Nope. Alrighty. Wait, there's a question here. Hold on. Yeah, it's like a miniature version of tennis. Bigger version of table tennis, I guess you could say. It's like right in the middle, but it's kind of taken over. A lot of people play. I mean, I play it, a couple times, probably like 2 times a week or whatever. Get active a little bit. Meet some people. That's most people are friendly, in that sport. So, you always, chopping it up with somebody. I was chopping up with this one guy. He had a house in Treasure Island. He was a flipper back in the day, and not anymore, but just, telling me what he's been going through, and also what he's done in his, like, I don't know, I forget how long when he started. Geez. I want to say like 2006, I think, is when he started. But obviously he's retired now. He's good. But it's just kind of right now he's trying to rebuild his home in Treasure Island because of the hurricane. But I found that all out yesterday. I forgot to, he left a little bit earlier because I was still in a match. But I didn't get his number. But I mean, I'll most likely see him again because he's right in the area. So, but he knows what I do. I know what he does, so he definitely, with being in the business that long, he's originally from Jersey, but lived in Florida a decent amount of years. So he has his connections too. So it's someone for the future. If I ever get anything, he might have some tips and tricks for me. He told me, he was telling me like how he knows he's an expert at getting rid of mold, all that kind of stuff. So, he knows what to buy from Amazon or like, Home Depot. So if I ever, come to a home where I'm taking on myself, and, I know, if I struggle X, Y, or Z, he's someone who I could give a call. He might be able to help me out. So it's always about, networking and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, I always bring, again, I when I ever drive to where I play, I mean, again, I have my cards on me, like in my car. I have the one in my phone. So yeah.
Sorry, just quickly before you go, I know you checked on me the other day, like kind of told me to hit up the agent, but I actually got my first closing this week. So I just want to say thank you, for checking in and, helping me. You actually were like a huge part of like helping me in these Zooms.
Oh, awesome. Was that with the same agent? Did she have something else, or was
it was actually a different agent? It was in Lakeland.
Okay.
So I was able to contract it for $150, and then I'm working with Grant and Ryan, so they helped me actually dispo it for $170.
Awesome. Well, congrats, Melanie.
Thank you.
Glad to hear. Yeah, so I mean, just you guys stay consistent, guys. I mean, that first deal, it might not work out, but it's consistency, and a big 4-letter word. I heard when I first started is just next, just on to the next, whether it's good or bad. Just keep your chin up and just on to the next. Your next deal is right around the corner. You just don't know it, For me, I do deals so often. So like after I close this one on 26th Avenue and on the 22nd, I don't know when my next deal is going to happen. It could be right around the corner. It could be in December right now. It might, hopefully I'll try to get something, this month or next month, but around this time is kind of when it gets slow because of, holiday season. So, but still, I mean, just keep hustling. I'm glad you were able to get your deal, Melanie. Just leave that, hope that's inspiration for anyone else who is struggling or just trying to find that, that deal, like that home, that property, that stress home in the next few days. So.
Yeah, I had 3 contracts fall through before this one actually went through, so I definitely like had to persevere and just kind of like keep going.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Any other last minute things you guys want to add? And I think Jesse, you had something. You said were you muted or no, I wasn't muted. Mute, can't hear. I don't know what that. Jesse, you there? I don't know if you're there or not. I don't think you're there anymore. Okay. Anyone else, guys? Anyone else? Questions for me or things of that nature? I mean, all I could say, guys, is just hit the phones. I mean, what I'm saying is what I'm doing. After this, I'm gonna, I was driving around a little bit yesterday in that same area, where I found the deal. So I'm just trying to see if I found anything else. And I wasn't running around my neighborhood. So,
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna get? But then I'm like,
hopefully I find something that, fairly soon here to, close out the year, maybe another 2 deals would be good. But yeah, I mean, just got to stay consistent and, the deals will come. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess we could end it for today. If you guys have anything else, just always reach out to me. I'm on, I'll put my name in the Discord or in the chat. You reach out to me on Discord. Try to give you some of the tools and all that what you could say to seller thing or agent, whatever, things of that nature. But yeah, congrats again, Melanie, and hopefully you guys, hope you'll be getting your first deals here soon if you haven't already. All right, take care.